my soul. Not the end, just re-inspired. This is me, my life rewired.
Well, it's a great day to have a great day. Welcome back to Life Rewired. We have another great show for you today. Joining us from London, England is Kylie Williams. Hi, Kylie.
Hello, Rob.
How are you doing today?
Very well, and yourself?
Awesome. No complaints here.
That's good.
I have complaints, but who will listen, right?
That is very, very true.
And if you guys haven't noticed a little bit of an accent in Kylie's voice, we talked briefly offline. She's originally from Zimbabwe, but now she lives in London, England. Actually, West London, England.
Yes.
So that how big of a transition was that for you when you moved? Is it kind of the same vibes?
Oh, no.
Totally
Completely different.
Really?
You must know, I've lived in the UK for 27 years. I was thinking about it the other day. I've lived here longer than I've lived at home.
Wow.
That's what corruption will do, get rid of the natives.
Now, do you find that it's hard for you to sometimes differentiate between the two? Like, do you fall back into old habits?
Not anymore, but when I first came, it was very, 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 very difficult.
Yeah.
Because I suppose in Zimbabwe it is more disciplined, and I never ever see little children talk back to their parents and things that I'd never ever seen.
Yeah.
And then also I went to Wales once, and I remember that was my first time encountering racism.
Really?
But it wasn't bad racism. She wanted to touch my hair. She said, "Can I touch your hair?" Because my hair is really curly. She said, "Can I touch your hair?" And of course, I'm a very outspoken person. I said to her, "No, of course not. How would you feel if I came and asked you, can I touch your hair?" And
Wow.
then it was the end of that.
Yeah. It's like, who does that? Can I touch your teeth? Can I touch your ears?
Exactly.
Where do you draw the line?
You wouldn't do that.
Right. Yeah. Be like asking someone, can I sit in your wheelchair for a little bit? Yeah. I think today's youth is a lot bolder when it comes to just asking questions that are inappropriate.
This generation is a lost generation. They don't have value for life or anything like that. I was reading the news the other day. A 12-year-old stabbed another child. I mean, at 12 years old,
Wow.
we were playing outside. We didn't even know about such things.
Mm-hmm.
So it just does make me a different. Yes, very different.
So let's jump right in and let's find out a little bit about yourself. Now, when did you when did you acquire your brain injury?
Okay, so on the 6th of the 9th, 2023, I had a life-changing accident. I fall down from a 3rd floor.
Now, how did that happen? Was it like a weak balcony or?
I have no idea. Till today, I have no idea. It was a Thursday morning. My last memory was brushing my hair. In my bathroom, there's a mirror. And my last memory is I was brushing my hair, getting ready for work. But apparently I never reached work that day.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So
I died 3 times. Once at the accident site, twice in the ambulance. I was in a coma for 9 weeks plus.
Wow.
And I went to 3 different hospitals.
Goodness.
St. Mary's, I don't remember any of it. West Middlesex, I remember a little bit. But Charing Cross, I remember all of it because that's the rehabilitation hospital where you learn how to do everything again.
Yeah.
I had to. They said this, Kylie, from the research they have, this Kylie will be a vegetable.
Wow. And look at you now.
Yes, and they said I won't walk, I won't talk, I won't any of that. But I showed them like this is my. Can you see it?
Yeah.
My
I see that.
scar from the
Tracheotomy?
that is it. That
Yeah.
is the word. I was trying to remember it. Yes, I've had a very, very long and interesting journey.
Mm. So
The
are
hardest
you
part, I suppose, is I always thought a TBI would be like any other injury. It would get better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get better. You make new pathways, neuroplasticity.
Yes.
So that was hard for me to accept because at the time I was 45 years old. Now, who would have thought at 45 years old I'd be learning to tie my shoelaces again?
Yeah.
It was a very, 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 very long road to recovery. But what kept me going in my head was the picture of my sons. I have 2 sons. One will be 31 in May. One is 19. And I knew I can't leave them by themselves without their mommy. So everything I did with them on my mind.
You fought for them.
Yes.
Yes. I applaud you for that because it's not an easy road.
It is a very, very little understood group of people, isn't it?
Very much understood.
I'm finding that out. And another thing, if you don't advocate for yourself, nobody will advocate for you. But
You're
you
absolutely
see,
right.
I won't be bullied. They just see me and they think, oh my gosh, it's that Kylie again. I think I'm their worst nightmare because I won't just be. At the moment, I'll give you a good example.
Okay.
At the moment, I'm waiting for a referral to the occupational therapist because I need one of those walkers with a seat.
Yeah.
Yes, but it took long to find out because all the other healing was getting done.
Yeah.
The brain damage did affect my balance, and also I get really, really tired from walking far distances.
Yeah, I do
because
too.
I got a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
I shattered my pelvis and
Oh.
I shattered my fibia there. That one. You see? Can you see it?
A little bit.
Yeah. And then I have my last operation. My last operation from my ears to God.
Oh, I see that.
Because I shattered my fibia. So they put like I used to call it a pyramid, but I'm sure that's not the name for it.
Yeah.
A isoskeleton or something. They put screws to let it heal and heal. Yes, but that operation, I had to fight for that because I got discharged on the 26th of January 2024, and I didn't get that operation until the 27th of December 2024.
Wow.
Exactly. And that was only because I was on the doctor's case and say, no, 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 I want it fixed. I want his Kylie, you can do the things, you know. I said, can I run? Will I be able to? Is it, well, maybe, you know. I said, no, I want everything back the way it was. Same, same. And then eventually they did that operation. But it's an ankle fusion. But he didn't tell me because I've been exercising it and exercising it because I wanted it to move, move, move. Only
Yeah.
to find out it's not supposed to be able to do this. You
No.
see what he's doing?
Yes.
It's not supposed to be able to do that because it's fused. It's supposed to be like that.
Right. I know
The
exactly
sad
what you're
thing,
talking about because I had reconstructive surgery 6 or 8 years ago, 7 years ago, something like that. And if that didn't work, they were going to have to fuse the bone, the ankle. And that just means it's locked in place.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah, it worked.
That's
It was
good.
it was a recovery, but let me tell you, I would do that a million times over compared to a brain injury.
What happened to you, Rob? If you don't mind me asking, I didn't realize that you were also a TBI survivor.
Mhm. Yeah, I was coming in a back door and I split my head open from about right there to right there, about a 3-inch laceration. Knocked myself out. Yeah, it was fun times.
Oh gosh, gosh.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. Do I understand that they knew that your ankle was shattered and they just sent you home, but they weren't going to do any surgery?
No, no, he was happy. It had. He was happy with the way it was. He said,
Okay.
well, it's okay. You got arthritis, but not old age arthritis, arthritis from the injury. And some other little bits, some pain, continuous pain. I said, no, I don't want that. I want it to be fixed. What is it going to take to be fixed? And he said, okay, what we can do is we can cut the bone and give the ankle fusion.
Mm,
I said, well, that's fine. That must go.
yeah.
Because I make a realization. Well, I've been doing a lot of observations because I'm very, very inquisitive. And like I said, not many people know much about this brain damage. So
Right.
I won't leave my fate in the hands of people who don't know what they're talking about.
Hmm.
So I do observations to see what was actually affected. So my memory is not great. That was affected. My speech, that was affected. My pain button, there's something not right with that because I should be in lots more pain when I'm not. So that my sense of taste, my sense of smell, and all my learned habits, that's broken.
You know that what you just said, that's me when it comes to the pain level. I have a very high tolerance for pain. Now, I
Yes.
will tell you, I have a migraine headache that I've had for almost 6 years now. It'll be 6 years in July. And probably because of that, it's like dulled the rest of the senses out.
Mm.
So, for example, last weekend we were assembling a bed for my father-in-law, and the lady that was helping me, she looked over and she goes, "You're bleeding." I'm like, "I am." I had blood running down my hand from where I had sliced it open. Never even
Oh,
felt it.
shit.
Yeah. So my
Oh,
doctor
shit.
told me, and I'm sure they've told you the exact same thing, to be very cautious because you could actually break a bone and not even realize you've broken a bone in your body.
No, believe it or not, it's only now after 2 years, that I've even had the referral to the TBI clinic, which is nonsense. But I fought and fought it and fought it. The GP, the general GP, the one you go and see,
Mm-hmm.
they know nothing
No,
at all.
it's the
So
same way
I
over
fought
here.
and fought to get to the TBI clinic. So I'm going to go on the 27th of April to discuss with him all these finding outs that I have. And
Yeah,
we'll see how we go forward with it.
yeah. That that's amazing that takes that long.
It is amazing. You know, not only did I become a disabled, as people like to have a label on it,
Right.
but I did it so late in my life. So I lived my whole life a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm facing all these difficulties.
Yeah.
But you know, my mommy always say, the good Lord, He only gives you what you can handle.
Yeah.
And that is the way I look at it.
That's true. And what you said just resonates with me too, because I know a guy that he was a teacher, lived his entire life teaching, retired. 3 days into his retirement is when he got his TBI.
Shame.
Yeah. But you know what the thing is, and I'm seeing this more and more, that the quality of care, no matter where you're at in this, if whether you're in the United States or in Zimbabwe or in England, I keep hearing from everybody that I talk to that the medical professionals are the ones that seems like they don't know how to properly treat a TBI.
It doesn't exist for most of the medical professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you, it's just non existent. Do you know, before my accident, I never ever used to go to the doctor unless it was a serious matter.
Yeah.
And of course, since my accident, I have been very best friends with going to the doctor because of all these other problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they watch the physical healing and they think, oh, it's better now, They
Exactly.
don't discuss the TBI at all.
No.
There's no discussion. And also they have this attitude like you pretending or
Yes.
and I said to my doctor the last time, because I got really frustrated and I got fed up, and I said, bloody hell, you would think that I didn't fall from a third floor. You would, the way you yourself are behaving towards me,
Yeah.
you make like I could magically influence what is in your records, which is from the hospital straight to you.
Yeah.
I have no input into it. Now, another thing is that big guy up there, he likes to play games because my speech is dependent upon my emotions. And
Yep.
I'm a very emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
Like even now, talking to you, it's taking everything in me because I don't want to shout it. But I
Yeah.
have to be careful because I have to be conscious of it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of coping techniques that I do.
Share a few techniques that you've discovered that would be helpful to our listening audience.
Well, when a confrontation gets too confrontational, I remove myself from it and I slowly count to 10. I just count slowly to 10 and just slowly breathe. My doctor, my psychologist she was very silly because she told me, because I communicate better in writing form.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that that wouldn't be a problem. That's not going to be a problem, Kylie. You just tell them to say, unfortunately, I communicate better with writing so that I have point of reference and so that I can put it across much better.
Yeah.
She told me that would be fine. Well, everyone I ask to do that have an issue with it.
Yeah. They don't want to. They don't want to cater to your needs.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And I found out it's because they don't want anything in written evidence. They
No.
want to be able to say it to you and then that's it. They don't want you to write anything and anything.
Right. Yeah. They don't want the liability of having something in writing.
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Mm.
You know, I get so annoyed because I'm not stupid. I
No, you're
just
not.
have brain damage.
Right.
And I get really frustrated, but because of my speech impediment, people come and talk to you like they're talking to an infant.
Yes.
In my head, I'm thinking, bloody hell, I'm probably cleverer than you. You
Yeah.
know, before my accident, I was a customer service manager for a very, very, very long time. I'm not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say to them, but it's automatic. I think people just tend, they either overspeak, they talk loudly, or all
Yes.
those kind of things. I find it makes me feel patronized.
Absolutely, it does. And you know,
It's not on.
exactly. And my thing with that is, I'd lost my train of thought.
Oh dear, what?
Did you see the wheels turning and they just went? I'm sure you can relate.
Oh yes, definitely,
I get
definitely.
I get caught in my train of thought so much that I trip over my own words sometimes. But what I was going to say was that people don't realize that no, we're not stupid. We can still do things. It just takes us longer to get there.
Exactly.
They don't see the roadblocks that are going on inside the skull that are going, let's see, do I turn right here, go left here? Oh, okay, yeah. They don't see all those sidetracks that are going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And let me tell you, neuro fatigue, oh my gosh, that is so, so real. And I get so angry and frustrated with it because everything, even this conversation, I'm feeling like I can go nap after this. And I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, what is wrong with you, Kylie? You used to hold meetings and hold boardrooms of people, and
Hmm.
now you just, oh, I don't know. I'm my own worst critic. I am so, so hard on myself.
Yeah. And people will call the, oh, he's in bed again. What? Every time I call, he's asleep. They don't realize that battery's got to get a recharge. And the more you do, the faster it drains.
I'm learning that now.
Yeah. So, like, do I want to go grocery shopping or do I want to cut the grass? Because I can do both.
You know, before when I wasn't, before my injury, I used to see people out looking scruffy and all, and they were the bit of a smell. And I think to myself, couldn't that person take a shower? Then I now figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to decide, is today a eating day or is it a showering day? It takes energy to do these things. So now I
Yes.
understand so, 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 so much.
You nailed it. There was times that I would get in the shower, and if I opened the shower curtain when I got done, and there was a towel there, I actually remember to grab a towel. That was huge. And the number of times I've gotten in the shower and I just stand there going, what am I supposed to do? You have to think, oh, okay, I've got to turn the water on. I've got to do this. All the steps that people that don't have a brain injury, they don't have to go through all that because that's all muscle memory. They just know what to do.
That is so, so true.
Yeah.
But as the time is going, I'm learning and understanding more, going along and learning things. Yes, a lot of helpful things.
It definitely takes time, and it's not anything for the weak of heart. Let me tell you that, because you can totally see why people with TBIs are so depressed. Not everybody, but most of the people, because not everybody has the support group in their system that they need.
Mm.
The number of people that I talk to that have lost friends, family won't
Oh
come
gosh,
around.
friends don't exist. The friends from the time before and the family, it's just terrible, terrible.
Yeah, I
It
had
is terrible.
I've had someone one time say, "Oh, you're driving, you're healed." Like, what is the combination between driving and being healed from a brain injury? Now, if I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk, and all of a sudden I could walk, that's a healing.
Mm, mm, mm.
But yeah, it's a lot of it boils down to what people see a brain injury portrayed as in the media, television, movies. There's not a lot of great information out there. People are still under the impression that you hit your head and in a half hour, everything's fine again. And that's just not how a brain injury works.
Sadly, that is true.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to bring awareness so people understand, because every 9 seconds, another person gets a brain injury.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially the younger generation, for them to understand. My boys have a terrible time with this whole matter.
Hmm.
They really, really are having a very difficult time. My younger son, I'm convinced he thinks I'm pretending, I'm doing things on purpose. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But he's at the difficult age. So even if I didn't have the accident,
Yeah.
I think we would have still been at loggerheads.
I'll have to tell you that I had an email that I'd got one time from a survivor, and she had been, oh, I think it was like 5 years. My numbers came out weird, so hopefully you followed that. I think it was like 5 years into her injury, and her husband was always saying, "I think you're faking it. I think you're embellishing your symptoms, and you're just lazy. You don't want to do anything." And me and Ashley did a program one time about what not to say to a brain injury survivor, and it was like a really big hit. She saw it, showed it to her husband, and said, "I want you to watch this." And she wrote me the letter, and she said, after watching that, he told me how sorry he was for the way he had belittled me all of these years.
Hmm.
And he finally understands that I'm not faking my symptoms.
I tried I even said to my son to get a Facebook login to join the TBI group, that group
Yeah.
that we're part of. He refused. He refused.
I think a little bit of that might be that he does not want to accept
Exactly.
what you're going through.
He finding it very, very difficult. But I think on the night of the accident, he actually saw me. They were trolling me from one place to another place, and he saw me. So I think he also has suffered his own kind of trauma.
Hmm. Yeah.
Very, very, very much so.
Yeah. He
So
thought he
it
was
is
losing his mother.
difficult for him to accept that his mommy is now like this.
Yeah.
Of
Absolutely.
course, my plan that I had in my head, by now I would be back at work and everything would be fine.
Hmm.
But of course, there's difference.
Yeah.
I'm still on my prescription. As much as I try to wean myself off of it, I can't, because there's still so many pains and aches and pains. So that's not working out.
Yeah.
And
You have to
then I
listen
think
to your
about,
body.
yes,
Yeah.
my doctor has a go at me. He says, Kylie, if we thought that you were ready to be not on the prescription anymore, we'd tell you. But you know me, I'm stubborn, so I have to find out for myself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When I had
Yes.
my reconstructive surgery done, my plan was I was just going to take, 1 or 2 days off work, and my wife kept saying, "You're not being realistic." I'm like, I work from home. Why can't I go back to work? Well, let me tell you. Yes, I was off for 6 or 8 weeks, I think it was, something like that. Yeah, and I needed every bit of that time off of work. And then I said, "Oh, I'm not going to take the pain medication." Well, guess what? Yes, I did. When we came home from the hospital, I told my wife, I said, "If I miss a dose, you're going to be peeling me off the ceiling."
How long ago did you have your accident, Rob?
I had it in July of 20. Why can't I remember? It'll be 6 years in July of this year.
So there is hope. There is hope for me. That's good. Good
Yeah.
to see you, because me, it's only been 2 years and a bit, and everyone's always say the same thing to me. Kylie, please, can you not be so impatient and just give yourself a little bit of grace and leeway?
Give yourself a lot of grace. Give yourself a lot
I'm
of
not
grace.
the most patient person, but I looked up on Facebook because myself, I'm like a toddler. You know, when you put a toddler in situations, but I was lucky enough that I have what I call the memory box. That if I see something that I've done in my life as a 45-year-old woman, it triggers, and I can do. But if it's something that is new that I've not done, then the same way a toddler would behave is the same way I am. As much as I've tried, trust me, I have tried so many times not to have that reaction, but unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But I'm lucky. I have the memory box, which reminds me that I've lived the life of a 45-year-old woman, and when I see things and do things, it clicks into place.
Yeah.
So that is what saves me, I think.
I think so too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. Every morning when I open my eyes, the first thing I do is I say, thank you, God, for letting me see another day. Because there's so many other people out there that wished that they could open their eyes, but they didn't.
Yeah.
But I was on his wake-up list.
That's a great perspective.
I don't know how to explain gratitude. The way I have a new sense of gratitude of making memories and what is important and what's not important. And I don't know. I just have this.
You learn to not sweat the small stuff.
Exactly.
Because at the end of life, I have never met anybody on their deathbed that said, "Man, I wish I cleaned more. Man, I wish I worried more. I wish I was grumpy more." No one says that.
That is so true.
So I try to worry less. I'm not saying I clean less, because I do still clean, but you know what I mean. If it comes between dusting the house or spending quality time with a good friend, I'm gonna choose the good friend. That dust will be there tomorrow.
Yes, that is so important.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I have really enjoyed our conversation today. Our time's coming to a close.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes.
I feel honored.
Yes. Those last few moments I'd like to give to you to just encourage the listening audience with whatever you'd like to share.
For every day that you get to open your eyes, be thankful and make that day count. Always. Because there's, like I said, there's people that wish that they could have opened their eyes.
Absolutely. Thank you
And
so much.
always, always, always be determined. Determination, repetition, kindness, and you must love yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Yes, absolutely. That's the phrase that I love to say, is to be kind to yourself.
Yes.
You don't, no one else
That
is
is
going
very
to.
important.
Kylie, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Guys, I would like to encourage you who are watching, if you've never visited our website, myliferewired.com, any resource that I find that is available to survivors, I put it on the website. Why recreate the wheel? If you want to be a guest on the podcast, email us at rob@myliferewired.com. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need to hear this message. We'll see you guys next week.
Just re-inspired. This is me, my life rewired.